Okay, to find the volume of each cylinder, what you're going to do is use the formula area of the base times the height. So you write volume equals big BH, so the volume is the area of the base is the radius is 6, and it's a circle, so it's going to be 6 squared pi, and the height is 10. So this is 360 pi, but you need to put it in your calculator around the nearest tenth. So make sure you do that and put meters cubed because it's volume. And then the second one, you do volume equals area of the base times the height. This one, the radius is 5, so it's still going to be 5 squared times pi times 10. So this is going to be 250 pi centimeters cubed. Now find the volume of each cylinder, and you'd have to put that to the nearest tenth over here. So put that in your calculator. It's 250 times pi, round it to the nearest tenth, 1 decimal. And then find the volume of each cylinder in terms of pi. So this time you don't put it in your calculator. So it's going to be 9 squared pi times 7. So volume equals 81 times 7 pi. So that's volume equals 8 times 7 is 56 plus 1 times 7. So it's 567 pi inches cubed. This is in terms of pi. There's a pi in it. You don't put that in your calculator. And then it doesn't matter if it's an oblique prism. This is an oblique prism. The height is still 12. So you do volume equals area of the base times the height. Volume equals area of the base is radius is 4, so it's 4 squared pi times 12. So volume equals 16 times pi times 12. So you do 12 times 16. 2627021. 192 pi centimeters cubed. So this is in terms of pi. You don't put it in your calculator. And then the next one, find the volume of each prism to the nearest whole number. So you do volume equals area of the base times height. So the base in a rectangular prism can be these, can be front and back, it can be bottom and top. I'm just going to let it be this part right here. So I'm going to find the area of the bottom, which is 5 times 8. So it's 40 times the height, which is 3. So volume equals 120 inches cubed. So in this one, the base is right here. So I do volume equals area of the base times the height. Volume equals 7 times 7 times the height, which is 16. So you put that in your calculator, centimeters cubed. And then this one, it's a triangular prism. So it's the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is this triangle. So the area of the triangle is 1/2 times 4 times 3.5. So half of 4 is 2. 2 times 3.5 is 7 inches squared. So that's going to be my B. So it's going to be 7 times 12. So I do, this is 84 inches cubed. And then number 8 is another triangular prism. So I'm going to find the area of this. So then I do volume equals area of the base times the height. And now I need to find the area, the area of the triangle. So the area of this base is 1/2 base times height. I can do the Pythagorean theorem and get the height, which I think is 21. So it's going to be 21 times 20. So 20 times a half is 10. So 10 times 21 is 210 meters squared. So my volume is 210 times 40. So I do 21 times 4, which is 84, and add a 0. So it's 840 meters cubed. And then down here, find the volume of each pyramid. So pyramids are 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Well, in this case, they're giving me what the area of the base is. It's 400. So it's 1/3 times 400 times 36. So I do 1/3 of 36, which is 12. So 12 times 400 is 12 times 4, which is 48, and then add 2 zeros. And then over here, I do area, or volume equals 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base is 10 times 10. So that's 100. Now the height, this is the slant height right here. So the height, I need to draw in a right triangle. This distance is 5, and I'm trying to find the h. So you're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. So you do h squared plus 5 squared equals 13 squared. When you do that, you get height equals 12. So I do 1/3 divided by 12 is 4. 4 times 100 is 400 inches cubed. So be careful if you're given the slant height or the height. Okay, find the volume of each cone, round to the nearest tenth, so you're not leaving it in terms of pi. So I do 1/3 the area of the base times the height. 1/3, the radius is 13. So that's 13. So it's going to be 13 squared times pi, because this is the area of a circle, times 28. And then you put that in your calculator, round to the nearest tenth. It doesn't matter if it's an oblique cone either. It's still going to be volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. Volume equals 1/3 the area of the base. The radius is 3, is going to be 3 squared pi times 2. So I do, put this in your calculator and round to the nearest tenth. Find the volume of each volume and surface area. So surface area is 4 pi r squared. So this one's going to be 4 pi times 14 squared. Round it to the nearest tenth. Volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, 4/3 pi 14 cubed, and round to the nearest tenth. And this time we have the diameter, so the radius is 7, or 3.5, because the diameter is 7. So surface area is 4 pi r squared, 4 pi 3.5 squared, put it in your calculator, and volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, 4/3 pi 3.5 cubed. Okay, now next one, the volume of a sphere is given. Find the surface area. So in order to find the surface area, we need to figure out what the radius is. So if volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed, and we know the volume, we're going to substitute that in. So 1200 equals 4/3 pi r cubed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to solve for r. So to solve for r, I'm going to get rid of this 4/3. So to get rid of 4/3, I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, 3/4. So I'm going to get 1200 I'm going to do 1200 divided by 4, which is 300. 300 times 3 is 900. This cancels out. Equals pi r cubed. Next, I need to get rid of the pi, so I can divide both sides by pi. These will cancel out. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cube root. So on your calculator, you got to take the cube root. So this is what r is equal to. So r is the cube root of 900 divided by pi. Now when you plug this in, you need to make sure that you put parentheses around 900 divided by pi underneath the cube root. So then what you do is you plug the r back in for your surface area. So surface area equals 4 pi r squared, 4 pi, and you have to plug this part in and square it. The cube root of 900 divided by pi and square it. And round your answer to the nearest whole number. So I'll do another one like this. The volume is 750, so I do 750 equals 4/3 pi r cubed. I need to multiply both sides by 3/4. And then I'm going to divide, so I do 750 times 3 and divide that by 4, whatever that number is, and I divide it by pi. And then I take the cube root of that, and I'm going to put that in parentheses. And then I plug it into surface area equals 4 pi r squared. So when you plug it in, you need to make sure to put r over here in parentheses, around to nearest whole number. Okay, so use the given circumference to approximate the volume of each object. So circumference is 24. So remember we have the formula circumference equals 2 pi r. So we know that 24 is equal to 2 pi r. So just like we did up here, we need to solve for r. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. And now I'm going to plug it into the volume formula. So volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Volume equals 4/3 pi. Now you have to plug in 24 divided by 2 pi cubed. So when you do that, close these parentheses off for 2 pi. Keep 2 pi in the denominator when you're plugging it in your calculator. And same thing with over here. So 75 is equal to 2 pi r. So to solve for r, you divide both sides by 2 pi. And then you plug it into the volume formula. So just be careful with the order of operations. And the keys are online so you can see the exact answers.